Well, as we say, here we go again, my friends. We are on another fantastic Selenium rectifier fiasco-tascal. If you look at this guy here, if you've seen in my previous videos, if you follow me, which I know there's a big cult following of me, so I understand how it is. Yeah. Anyways, Selenium rectifier. They're a little bit fun. They're a little bit old. And because they're old, they don't like to hold up to the test of time as well. So, what we've got here is issues with Mr. Selenium. Oh, let me turn that off. I don't need it on right now. I'm going to get some quick measures. You know what? I'll get my man on a stand here. See if you guys can see him better. And basically, we got is what I have going on is I got a 1 amp charger, 6 volt, 12 volt. The switch doesn't work for 6 volt. I really truly don't care. It could be the winding coming out of the transformer. I don't know. Don't care right now because 6 volt means that to me. Nothing. Not a flippin' thing. But is what does mean something is Mr. Selenium rectifier, and I've had issues in the past with Selenium, and it can get just darn awful. Basically, it was a 12 volt, and it had a switch for a 6 volt, and it was what was it, a 6 amp? It was an old style, a big transformer in it. But it had a Selenium rectifier, and what the deal was is it worked. It worked great. And I start doing the video, and I'm talking and yapping away as I do in my videos, and all of a sudden everything's gone haywire. What? And I can't make heads or tails of what, and it's not like that complicated, but man, when shit like that starts happening to me, when common sense don't make sense, like the way electronics goes, woot! My head just opens up and the funny clouds come in. That's just what happens. It just can throw me for a loop. Just because I got head issues. But anyways, so it really baffled the living hell out of me trying to figure it out. And then at the end of the video, I don't even know how much of it got in the video. I ended up figuring out the Selenium rectifier was actually toasted. How do I select? Hello, select. I want to select diode. Triangle. Triangle's rel. I don't want rel. I want diode mode. I want that. I want diode. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Hold, no hold. Oh, hey, select might do it. You never know what that select button might do. It might change your world someday. Better believe it. Hopefully you guys can see that good. So, Selenium rectifier. We'll just slap our probes on here. It's feeding in through here. This is, I thought it was kind of like a, I can't even think of it now, but a light. Yeah, the light. It almost like a dummy light. But I don't think it is. I think it's actually like a fusing light. So we're open that way, which, remember how diodes work now. One way they're going to be wide open. You're going to be OL, over limit, overload, out of line, over lanyard, whatever. See, now that's odd. Now I was getting a dead short. So, it's getting better. Oh, it's probably because I twisted it just a tad, the little tab here. But that is what we do with the Selenium, just because it can really boggle the memory process, our main brain frames. So, is what we got to do. I did some diode testing here, and I come up with I'm guessing Schottky rectifier diode. When I put the negative on the negative side, and that's always the banded side, and positive on the opposite side, I was getting 0.48. I'll see what this meter gives me. So I used a different meter. Now, I'm not holding it. Yeah, that's pretty close then. I took the pliers and shaved off just because this old diode, and scraped all that off. I didn't scrape up into here. But anyways, because I'm not worried about that. So I got this crimped in there real tight, floxed it up, soldered it. Now I'm going to solder it here, and this is going to come from my transformer to my what looks like a light bulb. I'll get it so you guys can zoom in and get a good look at it. Dumb time to wear a hat when you're doing filming, right? How dumb. That's just brain dead. Come on. This thing's pissing me off. Come on. Oh my. You gotta be. Whatever. 2 fingers don't mean nothing? Get off me. Where the So yeah, 0.44 something, right? So this is my output. That's the way it's gotta go. We don't want it reverse bias. It will be blocking them. We don't want it blocking. We want it to allow. But the problem I was getting was, this actually worked, but I tried to charge something. I was testing to make sure the voltages are right. And I put a little step in that so it would hold it up on there. And that's kind of where I want it to be. Once it's soldered, it'll keep it, should keep it off that wire. I might have to bend this just a tad. And so it's going to come from my transformer in the, which I believe is some type of, basically like a, you can almost see it. There's almost, it's going to heat up. And when it heats up, it can actually break the circuit. It's a freaking circuit breaker, just about. I can't think of the, just dumb. Just very, very dull today. Dulled. But yeah, I put a step in it so because I didn't want it slammed right down up against it and then be soldering right up against the diode. Just wouldn't be good for it. So got that. So it was working. I was getting 12 volts, but the problem was I would get no DC voltage. It was all AC, and well, then you figure your Selenium rectifier is bad. So that's what we're doing. We're just replacing that. And all these diodes here, they a couple of them were like 0.6 something. A couple of the other ones were, they're just all kinds of weird diodes that I got. But I found one that I liked, and that's what I'm going with. So I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now, so you have to excuse me. But that does not light up, just so you know. It might when it breaks the circuit. But yeah. Solder. Dude, how to solder. Wow. Talk about having the head together. Woo! Alright, heat up. I just shut it off just so I could start the video. So it's going to heat up and we're going to zap it and then I'm going to plug it in and we're going to show. It's going to output like these typically do. The transformer, it's straight off the transformer. It's going to output higher. It's going to be like 16 volts. That's what they do. Then once you put a little load to them or hook them to a battery, they trying to drop down to like 13.5, 14 volts. But at first it scares you. You're like, what the heck is going on here? The freaking thing is 16, 17 volts sometimes, you know. It's like, what in the world is going on? But yeah, that's all it is. You put a little tiny load to it and it drops right out. Right down in the 13, 14 volt range. So again, that's on your 12 volt. I really don't even care about the 6 volt. I'm honestly not even worried about it. I'm not. Because I'll mess with it and I'll just frig everything up. Somehow. That's the way it goes. Alright, we got heat cooking here. We got flux on there. That's all that good red stuff. That's good old metal eating flux. That stuff will eat a hole right through freaking chromium. And it was a pretty big hole, so we're going to really load some Alright, to turn the fan down. Now I'm chewing on this stuff. Ah, it's leaded though. I love lead. I like mine leaded. Drive my car, everything leaded. Let me see if I can bring you down in this thing. What is going on with this thing? Just all over the place. Could it be brighter? I mean, to me it looks like... You guys will have to let me know, too, if this background sheet... That was just something that I come across that... What is... Just get out of the way. Flipping thing. Okay, now there's no zoom. How much sense does that make? I got no zoom. I really don't know what this thing's problem is. It's full. The fucking thing is full. Everything's full. Memory's full. You know what's gonna be full is it's gonna be full of lead shards. Hit it with a freaking 12 gauge. So we'll get this soldered on, and we should have our rectified output, and that'll be it. But good old Selenium rectifier, round number 5. Flowed in a lot of solder there, so I want to really cook it in good. I like to slide the iron back and forth on it, so it really, any impurities or that, it really, the heat dissipates and gets them right out of the way. Yeah, I was gonna say that better have been hooked. I thought that small copper wire there had a J hook in it. And when you're using older components like this, you can see it on this one right here, how they're just not shiny like some of these, like this one's shiny. And is what that is it's actually corrosion. Focus, you thing. If you could see that, if this thing, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but it's really, really making me violent today. So that should be hooked. That should be good. That's good. That is good. That's not touching that wire. It's solid. It's out of the way.